did with help on LeBron. And also he had been in a shooting slump, and he scored a lot of points tonight too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good shooter. He's a good offensive player. I never worry about shots not going in game to game. He'll make shots. And then I thought, by committee, everybody worked hard. You just have to keep, make it as hard as possible on LeBron. Easier said than done. He's obviously not going to have many games like that. Their shooters around him won't have many games like that. But I thought our guys were locked in, and we're just going to have to be that again on Tuesday night.
Brian Robb, Boston Sports Journal.
Hey, Brian.
Brad, you guys seem to be very aggressive out of the gate, attacking the paint, particularly with Jalen and Allen that first quarter. Was that the game plan going in? Was try just to attack them there?
We always want to have paint threats that lead to layups, free throws, or threes, and sometimes we get those, sometimes we don't. But that's always what we'd like, whether it's off the drive, the post, rolls, transition, whatever it's off. We just want to constantly, in an ideal world, that's where we start on September 26th in our first meeting, saying, we want to attack the paint. So that doesn't really change night to night. I thought our guys played with a good aggression tonight. Going to have to play better Tuesday.
Hi, Brad. Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Just how much did Al pack into those 25 minutes tonight?
Yeah, it was really good. Both ends of the floor. He covered for us a lot defensively. He did a great job when he switched. He did a great job when he was in help. And, he's our rock. He's the guy we really, really lean on.
Hey, Brad, over on your right.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Brad. They had sliced that lead down to, I think, 14 going into the fourth quarter. It looked like they had something going. You guys jumped on them early in that fourth, got to it, 7-0 run. What do you say to that crew? I mean, I think that was like Smart and a bunch of those guys, not Horford. That's a defensive-minded crew. What was the message to them going in there?
Well, Horford or Baines were going to start that quarter depending on who they had on the floor. So, we all know that these leads ebb and flow a little bit, and they're going to have runs. We're going to have runs. So just stay the course, do what we need to do, play the way that we play best. The Morris rebound and dunk to start the fourth was a good way to set the tone for the quarter. And, again, I think having the poise to say they're going to make some runs, they're going to make some plays, just focus on the next one is going to be important the rest of the way. It's something that I think we didn't play as well with last year. And hopefully we can play a little bit better when they do go on their runs.
Martin, please state your name and affiliation, please, before asking questions. Thank you.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Conventional wisdom says you don't poke the bear. Marcus was pretty frank with his comments coming into this game in terms of what he planned to do. How did you feel about that?
I mean, I don't even worry about. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I just pay attention to what happens on the court. We've got a lot of room to improve from tonight. I thought we missed some opportunities to close out the shooters. I thought some of our doubles were bad. And I thought offensively we got stagnant in their third quarter run. And I think we're very alert to the fact that we'll get a heavyweight punch on Tuesday night. And, it's another great challenge and another great opportunity to experience something for this team.
Hey, Brad. Chris Mannix with Yahoo. Marcus Morris picked up those two early fouls in the game. You left him in, and he wound up being effective throughout. How tough a decision was it for you in that moment to leave him in the game? And do you have a general philosophy when guys pick up early fouls about when to pull and when not?
I think 99% of the time I err on the side of not taking them out. I remember as a player, which I wasn't very good, but the rhythm that it breaks if you take a guy out in the first 3 minutes of a game. And if he fouls out in the first quarter, then somebody else has to play. That's the way it goes.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. Brad, Tristan Thompson, over the last few series you guys have faced them, have really hurt you guys on the glass. How much does Aaron Baines coming off the bench?
Well, he hurt us on the glass tonight a little bit, too. I think he got at least 2 tip-ins that I can remember, one in transition, one off a roll. Yeah, he's a tough player to guard, especially with how much you're paying attention to all the shooters around and LeBron driving the ball. Like, he's a great fit for that team, and you just have to make it as hard as possible. I mean, Baines has kind of been our anchor down there all year anyways, but I thought he did as good of a job as you can, but Tristan's hard to guard.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. You've mentioned a few things that you want to improve on for Game 2. How do you balance in your message to the team of praising them for all the things that went really well today and everything they accomplished while not trying to be overbearing on focusing on those small things?
Just go play by play. We did it right, we did it wrong. I mean, keep it easy. It's black and white, right? You either did it right, did your job well, or we got to be better. And it has no, and whether you did your job well or didn't on that particular play has no bearing on Tuesday night. It's a whole new game. You got to do it again.
Bob Tron, The Citizen. Just following up on Murph's two things about Tristan Thompson. Did you expect to have him play the role he did, and also Rodney Hood? He gave them a lot of.
I thought Tristan come off the bench in the Indiana series, and when they started him in Game 7, and kind of went back to their lineup that they had done so well with over the course of time, and then his play in the Toronto series was tremendous. He's tough. I mean, he's a good player, and I thought Rodney Hood was very good. He can come off those screens. Ty does a great job of running little wrinkles for him. They'll run a dribble handoff to his left hand. Today they ran a little flare screen when the ball was in the post, and then handed it back to Rodney for a shot, and he made tough shots. He's a good player. You don't average 17 in this league without being a good player. He's a good player.